guys again. All right, today is day 3, our third day of e-learning online. All right, so we're gonna go over our skills page. Now before we go over, I have another surprise. The surprise keeps getting better and better and better. Wait till you see what I have in store for you today. All right, so with that being said, you have to watch the end of the video, all the way to the end of the video, to be able to figure out what that surprise is in there for you guys today. Also, I put in Edmodo that you can skip number 2. And the reason why I told you you can skip number 2 is because you actually have to have a physical dictionary, like the ones we have in class. However, I know most of you probably do not have physical dictionaries, and I even told you just go on to Google and Google it in a dictionary like the Merriam-Webster dictionary. But if you didn't have a dictionary at home, you couldn't do number 2. And a lot of people just use the internet now to look up words. They don't use an actual physical dictionary because it's just a lot easier to Google it. So I told you to skip number 2. So let's get started. Here is the screen for today. Here's our morning work. Let me move me up here. There we go. And we will start off the day. All right. So we went to Florida, Georgia, and Alabama for vacation. All right. So we always start off with the most simplest thing, the beginning and the end. You know, everyone knows the beginning needs a capital letter. So, wait, I need to turn on my pen. There we go. And it needs a capital letter right there. All right, and a period at the end. We went to Florida, Georgia, and Alabama for vacation. All right, I noticed Florida, Georgia, and Alabama are all states in the southeast where we live, so they all need to be capitalized because they're a proper noun. All right, so Florida is capitalized, Georgia is capitalized, and Alabama is capitalized. Now, I noticed that we have Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Florida and Georgia are 2 separate states, and Alabama is another separate one. If we join 3 or more things together in one sentence, we must put the commas, and the and goes at the last item. So we have to put a comma between Florida and Georgia and the word and to separate them, to show that they are all separate states. Let's see, we went to Florida, Georgia, and Alabama for vacation. Now, this is interesting because yesterday we talked about breaking up the word election. And when we break up the word election, I specifically stated that T-I-O-N says shun. So it applies the same thing with vacation. We do not spell a word with the S-H-O-N for shun. T-I-O-N always says shun. So we have vacation. That is the correct way to spell the word vacation. All right, so number 1 is done. If you see anything that I didn't see, call me in Edmodo and let me know. Good job, and shout out to Fabriana for getting day 1 skill page and realizing that you can use had and has. All right, so number 2, I told you can skip because you have to have a dictionary. Those guide words are those words at the top of the dictionary that let you know what words in alphabetical order are on that page. So we're going to skip that one since most of you don't have a physical dictionary at home. I know I don't. I only have one at school. All right, so number 3, add a compound subject to finish the sentence. So a compound subject is similar to a compound word. Remember the word compound just means putting two things together. So, and in this case, a subject. And we also talked about how all sentences this week need a subject and a predicate. We've talked about this previously. So, a subject is who in the sentence, and the predicate is the what. We already have the predicate. What did they do? Played in the yard. So I'm going to put a compound. It means I need two who's, because the subject's a who, so I need two who's that played in the yard. I know. Let's put down Mr. B and Miss Bruce played in the yard. Now you could have any two nouns there with the word and. So you can even say the cat and the dog played in the yard. As long as you have two nouns and combining with and, that is a compound subject. All right, number 4. Create a sentence using the name of a friend as a possessive. So remember we talked about possessives, they need to own something. So a friend. Let me use Miss Shrina. Miss Shrina is my friend, and she owns something. You know what? She owns a phone. So here's my sentence. Miss Shrina. Now it has to be possessive. So to make her own something, I have to put apostrophe S because it's her phone. Miss Shrina's phone is ringing. There you go. That is my friend. And I need her possessive. She owns her phone. So there you go. So as long as you use anybody's name, it has to be a friend's name. So you can just say boy or girls or like cats or dogs. You'll use their name. So anybody's name, as long, and then you put the apostrophe S, they own something in the sentence. All right, number 5. Add the homophones of the words below. Now we've gone over this multiple times in class. We've even done this in 2nd grade. So homophones, homo, we learned this year, means the word same, and phone means sound. So it is a word that has the same sound. 2 words that have the same sound, but they are spelled differently. So down there we have the word flower. Now that flower is not the flower like you smell a flower. That is the word flour like you bake with flour to make cookies or cake. So what are we going to do here? We're going to do the word flower that you smell. That's the homophone of this one. So it should be Flower. Now, the next one, 8. This 8 is the number 8. We have to write the other 8 like, I just ate a chip. All right, so 8. There you go. That is how you spell the other 8, which is the homophone. All right, so we're done with today's morning work. With that being said, let me stop sharing my screen and we'll show you your surprise. Pink egg. What comes in a pink egg? Another note. No, it says clue. Clue number 1. Or there's just clue. It just says clue. ... Something is hatching. To know what is hatching, go to the next video. So you have to view my directed instruction video after you do MTSS. But also at the bottom of this note it says, check out my video about inferencing. So we are going to check out a video with Annie about inferencing, and then to figure out what is hatching, what hatches in this pink egg. What could be pink that could hatch? you'll have to find out in my direct instruction video a little bit later. So first, let's go ahead and watch the inferencing video. Here we go.
You wrote a story? I looked around the packed theater. My knees were shaking and my heart was pounding in my chest. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I pretended I was alone and played my violin. Great job, Moby. I really understood how nervous you were, even though you didn't say you were nervous. I made an inference. What is an inference? When you infer, you use clues and what you already know to come up with an idea. I've heard that sound before. It's thunder. Everyone's wearing rain boots and jackets and holding umbrellas, so I can make an inference that it's raining. I don't really know for sure that it's raining because I'm not outside, but the thunder and the rain gear are clues, so I can be pretty sure it is raining. How can I make inferences when I read fiction? Let's see. In this book, the tortoise and the hare have a race. The hare makes fun of the tortoise and says she's really slow. Instead of preparing for the race like the tortoise, the hare just talks about how great he is. During the race, the hare is so sure he'll win, he thinks he has time for a nap. And the tortoise wins the race. The way characters act can tell you about how they think or feel. The hare makes fun of the tortoise, brags a lot, and then falls asleep during the race. These clues tell me that the hare is kind of stuck up and thinks he'll win the race. The tortoise gets ready for the race, ignores the hare, and goes as fast as she can. These clues tell me that the tortoise is really determined. Authors use clues and details so they don't have to write everything in exact words, and figuring out how the characters feel can be exciting. But I can make inferences in all kinds of writing, not just fiction. How can I infer when I read nonfiction? Cool, here's a book about sea turtles. Leatherback sea turtles lay their eggs on land. One leatherback can lay over 100 eggs. I wonder why sea turtles lay so many eggs. You can use what you already know to make inferences. I know that seagulls like to eat baby sea turtles. And I know that the ocean has other hungry predators. I can infer that sea turtles lay a lot of eggs because most of them will not survive. You can also use what you observe to make inferences. Ew, I bet all that trash doesn't help the sea turtles. Maybe that's one reason why they're endangered. I guess making inferences is like being a detective. You look for clues and put them together with what you already know to come up with an idea. I guess I can infer that it's time for lunch. Hey, wait for me.
All right. So I will see you a little bit later to see what is hatching. All right. Bye-bye. See you soon.